Have you ever helped someone when they really needed you, only to feel like they completely forgot about it later? Maybe you lent a friend some money and they promised to pay back on a certain day. That day comes, and suddenly you are the one sending the message. Hey, hi, just checking in. When can you send it back? Or maybe you helped someone at work. You gave them advice, introduced them to the right person, right people, or helped them to get an opportunity. They succeeded, and somehow you become irrelevant. Or maybe you were always there for someone during a difficult time. You listened to them, you supported them, and gave them everything you could. But later, instead of gratitude, they start acting like your help never happened. If you've ever experienced something like this, you might have wondered, why does this happen? Why can someone be so desperate for your help when they need it, but have a complete different energy when it's time to give it back? I started wondering about it myself, so I went down a bit of a rabbit hole. I started digging through psychological research, looking for answers, studies, and then research that has been done, and trying to understand what actually happened in our minds when we receive help from someone else. And what I found was honestly not what I expected. Because sometimes the very thing we think should make people feel grateful can actually make them feel something completely different. And in some cases, the more you help someone, the more complicated your relationship with them becomes. So in this video, we are going to look at why that happens, what psychology can tell us about it, and most importantly, how we can learn to help people without constantly feeling used, disappointed, or resentful. Because maybe the answer isn't to stop being kind. Maybe we just need to understand how kindness actually works. Let's start with something that sounds simple. When someone helps you, how are you supposed to feel? Grateful, right? You would think so. Someone gives you money when you're struggling. They help you find a job. They support you when you're going through a difficult time. They give you their time, their energy, and even their own connections. You should feel thankful. And sometimes we do. But behavioral scientists have discovered something fascinating about the human mind. When people receive help, they just don't experience one feeling. They experience two conflicting emotions at the same time: gratitude and indebtedness. And they are not the same. Gratitude feels like this: you did something kind for me, I appreciate you. Indebtedness feels like I owe you something, and that difference changes everything, because gratitude brings people closer together, but indebtedness creates intense pressure. You start thinking, how am I going to repay this person? What do they expect from me? What if I can't return the favor? And suddenly, the help that was supposed to feel good becomes deeply uncomfortable. In fact, research out of Japan looking at psychology of favor giving revealed that gratitude and indebtedness always exist side by side. So the person you helped might genuinely appreciate what you did, but at the exact same time, they feel crushing weight of a debt. And that's where things get complicated. Think about it. Imagine you are struggling financially. You ask a friend for money. Your friend helps you. At that moment, you feel relieved. Your problem is solved. But now, there is a second problem. You owe your friend. At first, you promised to pay them back next week. You mean it, but next week comes and you don't have the money. Now you have a choice. You can face the person you owe and say, I'm sorry, I can't pay you back yet. Or you can avoid the conversation entirely. You don't answer the message. You'd say, I'll do it next week. Then next week becomes next month. And suddenly, the person who helped you is now the person you are actively avoiding. Not because you hate them, no, but because standing in front of them reminds you of something uncomfortable. You owe them. People often avoid the person who reminds them of failure rather than face the problem itself. This is why the energy feels so different. When someone needs help, their focus is on the urgent problem in front of them. But once you solve that problem, the emergency or the urgency disappears and your help moves into the background. This brings us to the first type of reaction, the person who slowly starts seeing your help as normal. At first, your help feels special. You help them once and they appreciate it. You help them again and they're grateful. But after a while, something changes. Your help becomes expected. You help them 10 times and becomes their new normal. And now, the one time you say no feels bigger than the 10 times you said yes. This is where kindness becomes dangerous. Unbounded kindness doesn't create gratitude. It creates unlimited expectation. Now, there is another side to this. Sometimes the person you're helping isn't entitled. Sometimes they're proud. And this is where things get even more interesting. Your help can accidentally make someone feel small. Think about a person who feels proud about themselves on being independent. They want to solve problems on their own. Then suddenly, they need you. They need your money. They need your advice or your connections. On the outside, they say, thank you. But deep inside, they are thinking, I hate that I needed this. Psychologists who study help receiving behavior have found that accepting help isn't always a positive emotional experience. In many cases, receiving aid actively threatens a person's self-esteem. It's like this: your kindness becomes a mirror reflecting what they couldn't achieve on their own. So instead of feeling closer to you, they distance themselves. They become defensive or even criticize you. Not because your help was bad, but because needing it made them feel inferior. Researchers analyzed data across dozens of studies involving 54,000 people. They found a clear pattern. The internal stigma of needing help creates defensive walls before the help even arrives. And finally, there is the person who simply didn't want your help in the first place. When you are a natural helper, it's easy to assume that because you can solve a problem, you should. But giving advice when someone just wanted you to listen, or taking over when someone needed to figure it out themselves, transforms your kindness into control. So the question is, how do we fix this? The answer isn't to stop helping people. It's to learn how to help wiser. Before you step in to help anyone next time, ask yourself 3 deeper questions. 1. Did they actually ask for help? There is a massive difference between helping someone and trying to save them. If they didn't ask, give them space to figure it out on their own. 2. What kind of help do they actually need? Because don't just give the help you are most comfortable giving. First, sometimes people don't need a fix. They just need support. 3. Can I help without expecting them to change or owe me? If you lend money expecting repayment, make terms clear upfront. Don't give a gift with hidden conditions or keep a secret scorecard. Kindness is not a problem. The problem is kindness without boundaries. You can be a kind person and still say no. You can love someone and still hold boundaries. True kindness isn't about giving everything you have to someone who asks. It's about knowing what you can give, who you can give it to, and when it's time to let it go. I'm really curious. Have you ever lost a relationship or had a friendship gone cold because you helped someone too much? Drop your story in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. I read all comments. And if this perspective helped you make sense of something in your own life, hit the subscribe button to help support this channel. Please share this video with your friends and don't forget to click the like button.